Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at desperate things people did for money. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. I participated in some market research for a new beer. Sounded great at the time. I get paid to drink beer. Anyway, it was a bunch of different beers in small plastic cups, all of which started out tasting like the strainings of the devil's underpants and progressively got worse. They kept bringing more out until one guy cracked, swiped all his beers off the table and stormed out yelling, "I wouldn't even give this to my dog." I still don't know if it was market research or some bizarre psychological experiment. I think it was some bizarre psychological experiment. Like, who's gonna crack first? You know? Who's gonna say the beer tastes disgusting first? I participated in a food study where I couldn't eat for a day before. Arrived at the lab crazy early in the morning, had a tube put down my throat, and lay there for 6 hours as they pumped liquids into and out of my stomach. After the first 2 hours, I begged them to at least turn on the TV, but they would only let me watch PBS so I couldn't accidentally see any commercials about food. It wasn't fun, but the pay was decent, and they served me a steak dinner afterwards. What? Put a tube down your throat? Doesn't that hurt? I would never do that, man. It sounds like it hurts, man, having liquid pumped into your stomach. Isn't this something that you would only do if you get into an accident and then you can't eat anymore and you're in the hospital and they do this for you? Wow. Wait, so what was the study? Like, you put like how much nutrient you can get from a tube down your throat through liquid or something? Oh my gosh. Once when unemployed, I bought a bunch of king-size candy at Costco and went door to door selling it, saying it was a fundraiser for a church youth group. Made a good profit and was able to pay rent that month. Wow. I'm glad they were able to pay rent. But that's illegal, right? Saying that it's for something, but it's not actually for something. So like you're pretty much lying to people who are giving you money. Right? I don't know. I used to pose naked for art classes while I was an undergrad. Pay was pretty good, about 5 times minimum wage. What? Thinking. I'm kidding. One grad student who was a good artist but kind of odd asked if I would do a private session of a few hours. I agreed as I was desperate for money. I figured that I had just been hired for sex. I was a bit conflicted, but then just figured why not. I showed up cleaned and prepped and dressed to look good, and it turned out that the artist really did want me to pose. During the whole thing, they were polite but very specific on poses, and it was actually a bit challenging. They were so intense. While not particularly good looking, the talent and effort was kind of a turn on. By the end, I was half hoping it would turn into sex, and they would keep telling me how to pose, what to do, etc. We went over the time, but the artist was nice and grateful and paid extra. So I guess that I learned I would be willing to have sex for money in some situations. Wow. You see that, people? Attraction is a weird thing. You might not be attracted to someone the first time you see them or even like the 10th time you see them, but then suddenly something happens, they do something, and then you see a different side of them and you're like, I'm in love. Being attracted to someone is weird, okay? Sometimes it never turns out the way that you think it's gonna turn out. Many years ago, when I was a child and my mother and I were facing homelessness, we'd spend the nights at various places, like laundromats or hospitals. One night when we were really hungry, she had me dive into the wishing well to collect quarters to use for the vending machine. It's one of those surreal memories that stuck with me. Whoa. I just feel sad for them, dude. That's crazy. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Like, honestly, people who throw their money into the wishing wells, obviously most of them would rather give that to a starving kid, right? Right? They wouldn't be mad if a kid who was starving took the money, right? Participated in a sleep study where they had us wired up to electrodes to monitor our responses at periodic intervals across 3 days without sleep. It was brutal. I learned I cannot go without sleep for 2 days in a row. Oh my gosh. Don't you like start hallucinating and start hearing things and start going crazy? Dude, no sleep for 3 days? How does anyone even function without sleep for 3 days? I worked at a little Hampton Inn. My sister and I had a small apartment, so roof over our heads, but very little food. We would take naps so we didn't have to think about being hungry. I started lifting food from work. A few small danishes, some single-serve cups of peanut butter and jam, the commercial packs of coffee for her, and she would use just one for days. We'd buy bread and eggs mainly. I'm pretty sure the owner was onto me though. He left at 5, either went to dinner or home, then would end up back when I was on shift because he accidentally ordered an extra dinner. Or his wife made too much again of chicken and rice or spaghetti. I'd take it home and share. Oh, the owner knew they were struggling and then he just came back with food. I don't know why this makes me tear up. It was just a rough year. My mum visited and was shocked. Immediately took us to Costco to stock up. We were still eating off that food a year later. She bought us so much. Nothing fancy, but we felt like royalty with all that food. My definition of success is being able to go to the grocery store and buy whatever I want without counting cost as I shop. Happy to say I'm a total success. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Dude, what the heck? This one makes me cry for some reason. So their mum didn't live with them and they lived with their sister. That's it. That owner is amazing though, like literally an angel. I was newly broke as a joke and had a date in hours. She wanted to go to Red Lobster. I went through my car, parents' cars, sisters' cars, couches, everything looking for coins. I had a partial used gift card to somewhere as well. I took it all to the grocery store, cashed in the change, sold the gift card for practically nothing. I had just enough to cover myself. If she expected me to get the bill, I was finished. I'd have to own up to having like $31 to my name. Luckily, she didn't. She packed up and split the bill, so now we're married. That's wholesome ass. Thank gosh she didn't. Thank gosh she wasn't like, so you're paying, right? I feel like sometimes people catch on though. Like, you know, they would know that you can't spend so much if you're looking at the menu and choosing something, you know, that's not very expensive. So they would know. And if they're smart, they'll be like, let's split the bill, because that's just what a nice person would do. While I never sold blood to buy alcohol, there was a time where I'd donate blood every Friday night in order to require less alcohol. Oh. Wait. Huh? Wait, I don't get this. What? They donated blood so they would require less alcohol? Less alcohol to black out? Like they don't need to drink that much to feel drunk kind of thing? Oh my gosh, why? Huh. I met a complete stranger from the internet to sell him some used underwear. If it were a send it in the mail thing, it wouldn't have been a big deal, but part of it was that he wanted me to meet him to give it to him, and then he would pay me in cash. It was a pretty good amount, so I went for it. We talked for a while beforehand, and he was really nice. I didn't get the vibe that I was gonna get killed, and I needed the money. It was a quick meet in a Walmart parking lot. Nothing really bad happened. Wow, you would buy used panties? Like, what kind of underwear were they buying, huh? That's interesting. I don't think I would ever use someone else's underwear. That's just a bit weird to me. Especially if it's a stranger. That's too weird. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!